Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to the new spin. So, this is a Galactic Mayan astrology report for the 13th of July 2019. And I hope that you enjoyed the past few days because we've been rounding off this 9-month cycle. And we're now being birthed again into a whole new version of ourselves. So, with the way that Galactic Mayan astrology works, I say this all the time, but I'm going to keep repeating it because it's what I get nudged to do. It's cycles on top of cycles on top of cycles on top of cycles. So as we are a human being on planet Earth, we have gone through a 9-month cycle of creation, yeah? So from the moment of inception, around 9 months is how long it takes for us to then be birthed. Now that cycle continues alongside us being on the planet that's going through a 365-day cycle and a quarter also. And then there are greater cycles and greater cycles and greater cycles. So the whole of the astrology that we work with, the energy of the astrology is based on this 9-month cycle. So it is the Ouroboros, you know, the snake eating its tail, this constant rebirth that we are always cycling through. So now we're moving into the energy of Red Dragon, which is the first of the signs. It is the first Wavespell. It's the first 13-day human being process that we go through. And it's all about birth. It's all about beginnings. It's all about initiation. And the amazing thing with this energy and what it reveals to us is the cyclical nature of reality. So when we are within this energy of Red Dragon, it's a really wonderful initiation and introduction to the energy that we're going to be working with for the coming 9 months. So it's a really fantastic time to be tuning in to what the mirror of reality is showing you. I was talking to a friend the other day, and you know, this idea of the vision quest, so like people going out into nature and, you know, witnessing what reality is showing in a very conscious manner. The idea of the waking dream is that this entire reality and this experience of reality is a vision quest. So all of the time, you know, we are being reflected and we get to see, you know, what's going on within our internal world on the external. But because of the way that this energy is building human evolution, we get to really see what our themes are going to be for this coming 9 months within this initiation wave spell. So notice, you know, what comes up for you. Notice what feels really exciting. Notice what opportunities step forward. Notice the random things that come into your field, because they are, you know, a real piece and an introduction to what is going to be lived for the next 9 months. Also notice, you know, where your edges are, you know, because we are, as I say, it's cycles on top of cycles on top of cycles. So we're initiating this new 9-month human being spin, but then we're also in the energy of completion for this grander 13-year cycle, which completes on the 26th of July. So we've kind of got this really interesting overlap, which is quite rare to happen, of one cycle completing and another one beginning simultaneously. But at the moment, within this 13-day process, we're really going to be seeing, you know, what it is that we are ready to bring forward. Now, also within the Red Dragon energy, you know, it's the energy of the mother. And, you know, that means unconditional love, that means nurturing, that means all of our resistances and challenges around that, you know, which all of us do because we've been brought into a world, into a reality, into an experience of family, you know, that has had a historic backdrop of conditions put on it. So we've been taught that in order to be lovable, in order to receive love, we need to be this. In order for us to be able to love somebody, they need to be this. So there's this huge energy of, you know, what it is to be cared for, you know, and the whole thing, it's like this energy of surrendering to the current of the waters or swimming against it. You know, if we can within this wave spell have the opportunity to go into water, you know, a body of water, whether it's a river, whether it's the ocean, and just lay on top of the water and really allow ourselves to relax into that. That can be a really beautiful metaphor, you know, for what the red dragon energy is about. It's about really surrendering to the support that is already there for us, as opposed to, and I know this, you know, with my personal wounding, you know, there's often this like, and because I'm a red dragon as well, it's kind of my tendency to be within this energy. But yeah, this thing of like, oh my God, how am I going to get my needs met? Oh my gosh, it needs to come through that person in that way and this and that and that, da, 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 as opposed to the bigger picture of our needs are always met if we let go. So this thing of like really holding onto the steering wheel and being like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. When we let go of that and see that the steering wheel is moving itself, you know, we really then get the lived experience of what it is to surrender. So being in a body of water in whatever way and just letting go and allowing ourselves to be carried is really what, you know, this energy is about. Obviously then on the flip side of that, as I've just mentioned, is this fear of trust. You know, this huge fear of trust. It's like, if I don't set this thing up, if it doesn't go the way that I feel like it needs to go, how can I trust? How will I have my needs met? How am I going to survive? And with it being, you know, the first energy, you know, there is this energy of survival, but we're moving into a time now where we have the opportunity to be thriving as opposed to just surviving. But basic needs can come up within this wave spell, you know, and it's just seeing. So the last time that we began our cycle was the end of October, in 2018. So it's really seeing, you know, where were we at then, you know, what, and where are we at now? So really allowing ourselves to, okay, lay the maps on top of one another and see that we are closer to where we want to be. So also within this energy, as I say, it's the energy of initiation, it's the energy of birthing. So this can be a really incredible time to witness, oh my gosh, that thing, you know, that years ago I decided that I was feeling really drawn to is now coming into fruition. It's like, wow, I feel like I'm ready, I feel like I'm there. So it's a really fantastic time to be starting, you know, if there are things that you want to put in place, you know, because it's this thing with, you know, the masculine and the feminine energy that we have within us. We do have an initiating force of masculine energy within us, but we're also these incredibly, you know, feminine beings also. You know, we are the two. So if there is something that we're wanting to begin, if there's a new habit that we're wanting to initiate into our lives, this is a fantastic time to do that. So we can consciously decide also to begin things. But the interesting thing, and I think the thing that's wobbled humanity out of balance a lot of the time, is this initiating force, this masculine energy has been disconnected from the heart. So we've been like initiating these things that are not actually in alignment with the feminine energy. So we've kind of wobbled out of balance. Whereas when we are initiating and making these decisions and these beginnings from a heart space, then we're balanced. So it's really this energy of like surrender and beginnings. So how can we surrender to what is as opposed to what we think that we want? How can we surrender to what reality is actually revealing to us about where we are? Because that's the truth, isn't it? It's like, you know, where we are at this present moment is what's going to be bounced back. How can we accept that? How can we come into balance with that? Okay, that isn't necessarily vibing in the way that I want it to vibe. And as opposed to giving ourselves shit for it, how can we drop into a space of acceptance of that and really give ourselves permission to be, you know, wherever we are. If we're having conflict within a relationship, we just meet in another edge, and it's beautiful because it's an opportunity to open up that edge and go through the gateway of it. You know, it's like hitting that point and we can bounce off the wall of that and be like, fuck you, fuck life, fuck everything, this is really shit. Or we can go into it and then we see that it opens And yeah, it's vulnerable, and yeah, it's scary, and yeah, we don't know what's on the other side of it, but we are following the flow. You know, we're really dropping into that energy and allowing it to carry us into the places that we need to go. So within this 13-day process, I was going to say 13-year, they're all weaving. We really get the opportunity to begin again, you know, and to do that with the love of a mother, you know, this ideal mother, you know, that we've all experienced through the planet, but that we've also a lot of the time not experienced in the physical. So, you know, what does that mean to you? And really calling in and connecting with the mother within us as well. It's a really beautiful time to cultivate that relationship within us so that we have our own back, so that then when we're going into a relationship, we're not projecting, you know, our mothering needs onto the other. You know, okay, so I'm feeling like I really want this from that person, allowing that to then be flipped and taken internal. Okay, how can I give that to myself? And then as we give that to ourselves, we then step forward in a way that is more balanced and that doesn't have the expectations that puts the limits on love. So we really get to birth, you know, really bask in that, bask in the newness and the freshness of the energy, you know. Even people that I'm connected with that, you know, don't follow this astrology or anything like that at all, can feel it at the moment. And, you know, we're in eclipse season 2, and there's a lot of potent things going on, you know, out there and therefore in here at the moment. But we are in this space of birthing, you know, and we've come so far. I say it all the time because I really witness it within my own life and within, you know, the people that I'm connected to as well. It's like, whoa, you know, we are literally weaving completely new stories of what it is to be in our hearts, you know, what it is to be a human being on planet Earth. And it's not easy at all, but the more that we drop into it, the more that we get to really taste the joy of what it is to be here and now. So yeah, so this Wavespell is potent, you know, and for me it's well good because I'm within my own energy. So, and that's not to say that it's free of challenge, but when we're navigating an energy that's similar to ours, there's a comfort that's there. It's like, you know, the pattern of energy that we are is matching the pattern of energy that's coming in. So there's like an ease and a comfort, even if there's challenge. It's like a, ooh. So for me as a red dragon, you know, I'm born within the white dog Wavespell, but even so, because it's the energy of red dragon, it's familiar stuff for me. So yeah, the challenge really is trust. That's the big word of this Wavespell. It's like trust. How can we trust the other? How can we trust what is coming into us? How can we trust ourselves? You know, just really allow yourself to ponder upon that word of trust. And, you know, what do we need to do to be more in alignment with trust? We've all been betrayed. It's the reality of, you know, what we've beamed into and why we've beamed in. It's to really rewrite that coding. So it's, yes, it might take us into our stories of betrayal, but to recognise that it's the story of betrayal, the story from that other time that's not necessarily the reality now. So dropping deeper into this energy of trust and really clocking, ooh, it's an exciting time. We get to begin again. So I hope that you have a wonderful Wavespell. I am moving house today. So I'm going to be really initiating a new cycle in a new home, which feels really wonderful. And yeah, just lots of, everyone that I'm connected to at the minute is just like booming. So I hope that you are as well. And I'm sending you all the love and all the blessings for this new 9-month cycle, and really hope that you feel full. All right, darling ones, I will see you soon.